as a CIO, how would you explain what is your top priority to people from a business audience?
I would say you always the single and foremost question is, what do you bring to the table? And I think that needs to be the main narrative for the CIO. And if it's with business people, and I think to make it a bit lighthearted, Shamane, is you being the most creative person in the company, in the room, to burn all the budget, and whose life is filled with contradiction and impossibility. So I think that is towards business people. Yeah.
Very nice. And what about to a technical audience?
Yeah, I think to technical audience, I'm always saying I'm the only person in the room who really understands the business.
I love that. I wonder what's their reaction when you say that, by the way.
Yeah, I think I had to dive a bit on stage, but yeah.
And what about to little children? How would you break it down to them?
Yeah, I think for little children, it's always I'm the one and the person, doing the work that nobody understands, but in the end, everybody needs in his work to do his or her job.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Sekuro Talkshow. So my name is Shamane Tan, and I'm really excited to have with me Rogier.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Shamane, by the way. Great to be here and on your show.
Thank you. So Rogier, well, we want to address a few key topics today and just get some quick sound bites from you.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be for new CIOs, who are new to the job? It's their first 30 days. What would you say are good baselines and foundations that they should be setting in the company? And what should they be focusing on?
Yeah, I think that's a great question as well, Shamane. And I think the only way what we need to do as IT, as a CIO, and also for newies in the CIO world is you need to create business value. I think that's the one and foremost single topic that is relevant. I think in the end, ITers are notoriously famous for making things even more complex, but to create simplicity and to create business value, that's your main and key driver. And how do you do that? I think you need to be a CIO of an IT strategist. So you don't only need to focus on day-to-day tasks, but you really need to have a 12 to 24 months plan. What do you want to achieve? You need to be both tech and business savvy. You need to understand IT trends, but you also need to very much understand business concepts. In a world where everybody is with a kind of rhetorical laziness, how I always call that, from the business itself, because everybody now thinks they own IT. We're democratizing IT. That makes it also very complex for a CIO. And you need to avoid that you're not the on-site tech guy or woman, It is the number of calls I got, Shamane, in the last couple of years that printers, VDIs, keyboards are not working. I can't count on one hand. It's massive. I try to avoid that. And I think those are the most important topics. Yeah.
And what would you say is, are your thoughts when it comes to the natural tension between a CIO and a CISO? And, they say sometimes there's this conflict of interest as well. So can you share from your experience where you have seen CISOs working really well with CIOs? What were the key things that, worked well for them?
Yeah, I think what you now see, I call that the newly knighted CISOs or the CDOs or the CDX, all these fancy titles nowadays. What you normally see is that everybody's great in boiling the ocean, so to speak. So there's one problem and we always try to solve it, to solve everything. And I think in essence, that's not different to the cybersecurity world, because there's so much focus on cybersecurity nowadays. And we try to cover all the problems there are outside. You did see it today with the invasion of Russia in Ukraine itself. That also increased very much the cyber risk exposure as well. So I think it's very important, and that's also my experience, by the way. Certainly, if you now look at my current company, is that there need to be a great relationship between the CIO, who is really the linking pin between IT and the business, and the CISO, who is making also in the end the cybersecurity roadmap. And as long as we make that distinction between, having a good understanding about the business from the CIO, but being supported by the CISO, I think that's the way forward. Yeah.
Excellent. I love it, how the way you put it. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your insights. Rogier Roelofs.
It's actually Rogier Roelofs.
Okay.
I'm Dutch. I'm okay how you pronounce. I'm good with that. I think it's great, and I'm following you now since last year because cybersecurity. It's what I said about democratizing IT and how I see you are managing that on social media and about writing books. I think it's very important to make it digestible as well, because in the end it's quite a difficult topic. So I think keep on doing that, and then I think it's important for people to understand how cybersecurity relates not only to IT itself.
Yes.
So very much in the world we're living in nowadays. So
thank you.